What's happening, YouTube? Eugene here. Hope you're doing well. I hope you are, well, you and I together, flowing into the motion, into the movements. We're flowing. We are going. You can't not go. You can't be left behind, even if you wanted to be. Like, you don't have that option. You have to move with us. So if you don't feel like coming along, we're going to take you along. Let's go. I am doing well. I had a really tough time picking my fragrance of the day today. Really tough. As stupid as that sounds, like, oh my God, it's like the worst part of my day. But the best part as well, you know? And I don't know what it is. I don't know why I just didn't have the feeling today. I knew what I wanted, but I wanted to get away from the heavy perfumes, actually, as I've been wearing a lot of heavy, sweet things, and I wanted to pull away because at the end of the day, they are drowning and draining. They can be. If you have long days, these perfumes can be draining. Because I'm with my perfumes all day. I'm able to smell them all day, and they hardly ever disappear on me. So I'm constantly like, I'm engaged inside of my perfumes, so it can be a little bit much by the end of the day. So today I wanted something a little bit simpler. It's not really simple, but it's softer, and that's Chanel's. Ta-da! Sycomore. And this is wood, and more wood. And I'm not the biggest vetiver lover. I'm not obsessed with vetiver as much as vetiver has been, like, traditionally an honorable note in perfume. It's been used for, in a lot of greats and classics. And I'm not the biggest fan of vetiver, and I'm not sure what it is. And I've been saying this forever, but Sycomore I really like because it's not just vetiver. Sycamore is not just any one thing. There's so much going on here. They say it's vetiver, and I've read, and like there's sandalwood and cedar and tobacco in here. And yeah, possibly there is. It's not an easy perfume for me to decipher, right? Because of the way everything is so blended. And I can see that tobacco, and I don't see sandalwood. I've never really picked up any sort of sandalwood. To me, it's much more cedary, but who knows? That is perception. Even the tobacco here, it's not harsh or heavy or even like in the forefront. It's more of a subtlety, a slight whiff of, I think they call this a blonde tobacco. It just adds a little element of smokiness and earthiness, almost like smelling, like ripping a cigarette apart and getting like a quick whiff of the tobacco, the cut tobacco leaves in there, right? And Chanel, I love the way Chanel handles their tobacco, especially in Cristal. Cristal is more, they've added more nicotine in Cristal, but it's also a beautiful tobacco, right? So yeah, and this is, it is that smoked vetiver, spicy, woody, nutty. It's got a nuttiness coming from it, which I imagine is coming from the vetiver. Vetivers usually, not always, it sometimes can smell nutty. But this is something that when I wear, it's got warmth to it. Boom, boom. We're always in construction in Toronto. All of Toronto, if you come to Toronto, right, all of it is under construction. The roads are, it's the best way for the government to wash money, is just to give it to construction companies. And that's why we're always under construction, right? So if you come to Toronto, be prepared to face traffic and construction. But this reminds me of, when I wear this, the warmth that comes from it, it reminds me of being outdoors amongst nature, in the trees, right? Going through trailways, pathways, and the leaves have started to fall and turn yellow. They're not quite brown and crunchy yet, like when you step on them you hear that right? There might be a few brown and crunchy ones, but the majority are still like red or yellow, and they still got water in them. They're not dry. They're not completely dry, right? And the sun is out, and the warmth of the rays are keeping you cozy as you're walking about, watching the scenery. There is a campfire in the distance. I can smell a campfire. It's very camphorous and slightly smoky. It's not overly smoky like things can get. There's way more, there's so many more fragrances out there that are smokier than this. This has like an element of soft smoke, you know. It's not pluming, billowing smoke. It's like whispers of smoke, you know. It's elegant, but I find this very refined and gorgeous, and mostly spicy and woody, but round, warm, soft, elegant, timeless. I would call this timeless. There's nothing sweet in here. There's nothing trendy. I'm bothered by not finding that sandalwood. Maybe that's where the soft edges are coming from, but it's so discreet, you know. It is kind of a discreet perfume. It's not overly loud, or it's not like when you walk in a room, I don't think this is going to punch anybody in the face. It might put its hand out and say, hello, my name is Mr. Truck Driver, and I don't know how to switch lanes, but thank you for being here. You know, it's more that sort of thing. It's not the truck driver that's going to crash right into you. It's the truck driver that truck driver. It's this is way more gentlemanly than obnoxious. This doesn't feel pretentious at all. It's just very classy. Like Chanel, everything Chanel does is classy. You know, they don't scream for attention. They don't scream for trends. They're just always timeless. Always like the way it should be. Chanel does things like that, the way things should be done. Now that's going to mean something different for everybody, but that's what it feels like for me. Like for me, it always feels like everything they do is the way things should be done. I like that. Yeah. They have this charm to them. Especially these Les Exclusifs. I'm obsessed. I really am. And the majority of these, they do kind of lean on the girly side, right? Not all, but there's some. But this one leans more toward the masculine side. Even though a woman can easily wear this, and I would applaud any woman, or I would support that. But this does feel more traditionally because it is spice and woods. It feels more masculine to me. I love that nuttiness though. The nuttiness is beautiful. And the way it kind of floats around is really nice. See, when you crack a window and you get some airflow, the perfume circulates so much better. It's so soft on me. Almost like a sense of hay. I wonder if there's coumarin in here. Coumarin. There might be coumarin, but there's not. I don't get like a tonka bean thing, right? But there's definitely that hayness. Dry, woody, nutty, spicy. Slightly piney, and I get, you know what I get are those what are they called on the pine trees, those little bells that grow that are very spicy and incensey. When you pick them up and you break them and roll them in between your fingers and let the oils out, it's green, piney, incensey, slightly peppery. trees. I see lots of trees. Trees, 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 trees. Trees with the leaves breaking off, changing color. It's a seasonal thing. This is very seasonal for me. I don't ever wear this outside of the fall. Really. It just it's perfect. It's a perfect fall fragrance. That's what it is. Without being anything trendy or obnoxious. What do you guys think of Sycomore? I know a lot of people have had issue after it was converted to eau de parfum. They say Sycomore was ruined. I'm not one of those people. I really enjoy my eau de parfum. I had an eau de toilette and we didn't make it. We didn't survive. It wasn't a good fit. And we left each other. We have moved on. I had gotten rid of her and she was happy to go, you know, so we made arrangements, and I eventually picked up the eau de parfum, which I seem to be enjoying so much more. So I'm happy with it. I wasn't able to detect the eau de toilette on me as richly as I can get the eau de parfum. It was softer, and no matter how many times I tried, it's just like it never ever showed up for me. It wasn't there. So I was like, all right, this might be considered one of the greats, but it's not for me, and I'm okay with it. So bye. You know, I don't play. You know, it has to work for me. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. You know, that's great. It works for them, but it doesn't for me, and I'm okay with that, right? But this is very gorgeous. It's wood. Very woody, without being sweet. There's an underlying caramel here, but it's the softest thing and not really enough to consider this sweet. I've always gotten caramel, like warm caramel underneath, but more dry than sweet. So buttery. Now the butters are starting to come out. Like buttery wood. That might be the sandalwood. Buttery wood. It's not the sandalwood I know. It's a very different sandalwood. But it's not modern either. It's not like, oh, shit. Australian sandalwood. Maybe it is Australian sandalwood, but tamed. Tamed down. It's very woody and crackling. It reminds me of just being outdoors by the lake, but without any traces of water. Just that scenery though. Trees, pathways, dirt, floor, you know, the forest floor, even though it doesn't smell like the forest floor, but I can see that picture in my head. Wonderful perfume. Wonderful perfume. Probably one of my favorite vetivers, and easier for me to wear than a lot of those other vetivers. Like I love Guerlain vetiver. I can't wear it. It's not me, you know. It's just not me. It's never been me, but I can appreciate the hell out of it. Like I love the way it smells. But when I wear it, I know it's like I can feel in my soul it's not me. It's just not me, you know? But I think it's one of the greatest. I wish it was me, but it's not. And I'm okay with that too. Not everything needs to be me. But the things that I love, they are me. And I express that. And I enjoy those, you know? It's important to find what suits you, not what suits the rest of the community. Find what you love, and when you try everything for yourself, you'll figure out what it is you love. But this is what I love. There's a sense of freedom to it. It feels very free.